Hi Flosstube, it's April from april.may.june.stitcher now. I've changed my Instagram name because I was getting some rather nasty messages on there. I think it had something more to do with the brummy bit because I was getting some rather abusive messages on there. And you have to see what they put to be able to accept or decline the private message. So I would see what they'd say and then I'd decline and block and whatnot, and that's been happening for a couple of weeks now. About 20 or 30 different usernames, so I don't know what it is. Yeah, I know it's only been a week since my last video, but I feel like quite a lot has happened since then, so I just wanted to do another video. But I also wanted to do a video showing all of my stash, not stash that I've got, all of my patterns that I've got, and most of them are kitted up or partly kitted up, and yeah, I just wanted to show people that if anyone was interested. In my last video I showed you that I'd been working on a few things, and I just wanted to show you an update. There was Acorn Hill by Little House Needleworks for the autumnal sale on Facebook that Vonna set up. And this is, well, I'm calling it done. There should actually be another border round the edge, but I just can't do any more, and I am calling this done. I'm really pleased with, one, that it's done, it's complete, because I am terrible for not actually finishing anything, so I feel as if doing Flosstube has made me accountable for my projects. So yeah, last time I'd only got part of the house done, all of the bottom bit was done except for this. So yeah, I've just finished it off and I'm really pleased with how it looks. I think it looks really pretty. I started something new and it was by Bent Creek Snowbound. So it was only tiny and I finished that. I'm really pleased. Ooh. The only things that I changed were the stars were supposed to be in the yellow of the moon, and the crosses down here, or the stars, I don't know what you call them, were supposed to be done in 2 threads. I did them in 2, but you couldn't really see, so I just went for 1 strand, and I think it looks quite pretty. That is done on 28 count dirty linen by Zweigart. And then the other one that I worked on and finished was the Sweetheart Tree in the Pocket of a Butterfly. I'm really pleased with this, but don't look too closely. I did make some mistakes. The border should be continuous all the way around, but I was half a stitch out as usual, so rather than leave a little gap, or rather than leave just 1 little stitch, I left a gap, and I don't think it looks too bad. I quite like it, and I've actually got this up in my room. I honestly thought that Acorn Hill would take me all of September to do, and when I finished it up quite quickly I was really pleased, so I just wanted to pick up some of my existing whips to work on those, and I chose Jane Eyre by the Snowflower Diaries. And if you remember in my first video, I'd done her body and her face, but she'd got a bald head. So this is where I am now. So I gave her a hat, and I started to do some of the words. Excuse the pins, they're just my markers. I'm really pleased with the way how she's turned out. If you look at the chart, I've changed the font because I found it quite clunky, and I quite like symmetrical things, and I didn't like how it was a bit down here, and so I'm doing 1/1, 1/1 font, more of a slanty font, which I quite like. I found this on the internet. I think it's actually from the Brenda Keyes Motifs, Alphabets and Borders book. I really like how it's gone. I am winging it ever so slightly with how it will fit, but I don't think that looks too bad so far. So then that took me to the beginning of October, and I quickly started Wickedly Wonderful Stitches, Eternal Love. I only managed a bit of this on the 1st of October, but I quite like this. This is done on 28 count baked and based Von Styli fabric. And then the other thing I worked on was The Garden of Erie by Plum Street Samplers. You can't really see, but I love this. I think it's really funny. And this is where I am now. So before I'd only done Frankenstein and a little bit of the tree, and I've worked on, what's her name, Frankenstein's Bride, the flower and the stripy dog and the crow, and just gone up a little bit more on the tree. But this is done on 32 count tea dyed linen that I put in the oven. Really like this. I love how they turned out. I did the white in 3/2 because white drives me mad, but I don't mind how that's turned out really. I knew that there was going to be another Little Country Cottage Needleworks or Little House Needleworks sale for November, December, and I wanted to do something for my friend for Christmas. I wanted to do this one, which is Snowflake Serenade, but then when Vonner posted it was going to be an ornament, I thought, oh, I'll just start it. But before I did actually post on a Facebook group and asked if what they thought the pattern would look like on the dotty fabric that I bought. It didn't go down very well. They thought it would be too pale, so I had to go anyway, and I really like it. I think I am going to change some of the things in it, the borders, because it is very pale, but I'm going to try and work around it and fit it in. But this is on 36 count 36 count fabric, and I've done the white 3/2 again, and the rest is 2/2. I know I've only ever done such a bit, but I just wanted to see what it would look like, and I don't think it looks too bad so far. So I'm going to continue with that, but not until November. I watched Suzette's latest video, The Primitive Stitcher, and thank you so much, Suzette, for giving me a shout out. Oh, that was really kind of you. I didn't expect that. And I've gained a few more subscribers because I'm sure they'd seen you recommend / go and have a look at my channel. But then I saw your beautiful chart for Mercy Goodheart, so I paused your video and did an immediate search and found that Fobles in the UK had it, so I put it in my basket, carried on watching your video, and then went back to my basket on Fobles, went to check out, and the chart was £11. I think, and then the postage for that one chart was £3.50. So any orders over £10, it then goes up to £3.50. So I couldn't just have one chart for £3.50 delivery. I needed to add some other things to my basket. This one has been on my wish list for quite a while, so I just thought add it. And this is Vintage Birds by Jeannette Douglas. I love this. I'm not that keen on the fabric for the background though. I don't think things stand out very well, so I'll look at doing something else for that, I think. And then this one had also been on my wish list for quite a while, because you know I mentioned that I've got a bit of a thing for bees. So this is Mrs. Maguire Bee Charmer by Pineberry Lane. I love this, I think it's really sweet. And then this one is because of Priscilla and Chelsea. I've only just discovered their channel and I think they're hilarious together. They're like a tag team, it's brilliant. And this is Pomegranate Santa by Plum Street Samplers. I love this, and I love the colours of the red. I think they work really well together, and the little reindeer at the bottom, I think they're really sweet. And then I placed all that order, paid for it, brilliant, and then I had an email back from Phobles to say, oh, Mercy Goodheart isn't in stock anymore and we can't order it because it's out of print. Yes, thank you very much. So here's a refund for the difference, and we'll send you your charts that you ordered. I would have liked it if they'd have given me a bit of an opportunity to say, oh sorry, we haven't got this one in stock, would you like to replace it with anything else? Because I just think their postage is really expensive for what it is, and it should be based on the weight of the items rather than something over £10, because charts basically weigh nothing. So I just think it's a little bit excessive, but anyway, it's fine. But I did go back to them and say, oh, I would have liked to have swapped the chart. And why is it even on their website in the first place if it's not in stock? Anyway, there's nowhere else in the UK that I can get it from. I could only get it from the US, and a lot of the places that have it, it's like $10 postage, and it's just ridiculous. I'd have to do a big order to justify that, and that's what I don't particularly want to do. I mean, I desperately do want to order loads and loads, but I have got quite a lot already, so that'll just be something I will have to wait for when I do find something else that I desperately need from the US and can only order from the US, which is, it's fine. But something else that came in, which I was very, very excited about, was my Picture This Plus Christmas in July order that I placed. Now, I'd heard about the Christmas in July thing, but I didn't know what date it was or anything like that, and I just happened to go on their website on the right day, and I placed quite a big order. Well, quite a big order for me, I felt. And I don't know if I'm imagining this or if I saw it on something else, but is there a timer in the top right corner that tells you how many hours are left? And it was something like the last hour left, and it just happened to be I ordered on that day, and it was great. So I'll show you what I've ordered. I did post a picture on this on Instagram, and I'm sure a lot of you have seen these colours before, but for me this is very exciting because I've not had much experience with Picture This Plus. Now this is Velt. Does that shows up quite well actually, and this is only 13 by 18, so I wanted to get quite a good variety of colours but not necessarily great big massive pieces, so I ordered Velt. Then this is Cyprium. I love this, I think it's beautiful, really rich. And then a Fathom. Haunted. Now I think Fathom and Haunted are really rather similar. This looks more green on camera, but they're quite similar. But I do like them both. I'm glad I ordered both. Then Moss, Rosewood. It's more pinky than what it's showing on there. It looks quite terracotta on screen, I think. And then Gingerbread. And then they were all 13 by 18, and then I ordered 3 pieces of 18 by 27. And these are more neutral, well, I say neutral, but more colours that I would use, that could be used across a variety of projects. Now this is Oaken, and I think this is really beautiful. Then Brash, which again I think is beautiful. And then my absolute favourite is Murky, and I'll come on to this in a little while. I received a lovely little parcel in the post from Jay, Mortuary Stitcher, with a little note and a needle minder from Floss Candy. And she sent me a few charts and a little boo by Lizzie Kate. I think this is really sweet. And she sent me Coffee Time, also by Lizzie Kate. And this one from With Thy Needle and Thread, October 31st. I love this. This is right up my street. So thank you very much, Jay. It was really kind of you. I know we've been in touch on Instagram on private messenger, but I do also like to say thank you on my videos. Last but not least, I with all of the Halloween charts that are coming out at the end of September for Halloween, it was really hard to decide which one I wanted, and I absolutely love the Hawker and Hollow Halloween. I think it's beautiful, I really do. It's about £30 and it hasn't arrived yet in the UK, I don't think. But I'd seen Lila's Halloween Quaker. I'd seen her working on it on Instagram, and I absolutely loved it. I love the colours, so I just thought, oh, I've got to have that one. And especially because the Murky had come, and I wasn't expecting my Picture This Plus order to come anytime soon. I know you have to wait, but when it did come, and I did a quick calculation as to what size, if it would fit, and it did, I thought, right, I've got to order it. So, and it came this morning. I only ordered this on Friday night UK time, and it has come today, and I just can't believe how quickly that's come. And I think it's beautiful, I really do, I love it. So I ordered all of my threads for it, and they all came, oh look at them, they all came today and over the weekend, because I needed to order from 2 separate places because not everything was in stock, and I just wanted it all, so I cannot wait to start that. So everything I said in my last video that I would be working on Garden of Erie, it's just gone out of the window, and I just want to work on a Halloween Quaker for October. I'm really excited. I'm doing it on 36 count Murky, because that's where I'd ordered all of my fabric from Picture This Plus was 36 count, so it was just lucky that it will actually fit, and I'm really excited to start that. With Vonna's post about the November-December sale for Little House Needleworks and Country Cottage Needleworks to be an ornament of some sort, I've decided to do Season's Greetings by Little House Needleworks. I picked this up for £1 from Fobles in their sale, so it's come in handy, and I quite like this one. It's bright and pretty. Because I do want to work on the Snowflake Serenade in November for my friend's Christmas present. If I can get that done, that'd be great. So that's it for my plans for October and November, I think, really. That's it. I wanted to show everyone what I've got in the way of all my charts that I've got that are either fully kitted up and ready to go or part kitted up. Please don't watch if you don't want to. There is quite a lot, but I feel recording it and putting it out there makes me very much aware of how much I have got in the last 6 months or so, 6 or 7 months, and that, I'm really recording it for me. But I also people might be interested to see what I've got and what they might like. I've got a great big box in front of me that's got all my charts and everything in, so I'll just go through them. I'll start with all the ones that I've got fully kitted up, so here it goes. Right, this is Music Amongst the Trees by Rosewood Manor. I'm going to be doing this on the Picture This Plus felt that I ordered. This is the only fabric that I knew what I wanted to stitch on it, and I think all the colours look really lovely on that. This is the Nora Corbett Bumblebee. That's what it will look. That is what it will look like. That's a free chart on her website, and I wanted this to go with the 2 dragonfly ones that I have also got. This is the silver dragonfly that I was just talking about. That's what it will look like, which is a better picture. Some of these I have shown you before, but in my last video, but I'll just go through them anyway. This is Elizabeth Milner 1848 by Shakespeare's Peddler. I've got some thread choices there, but I'm not 100% sure which ones I want to go for yet. I'm sorry about the glare, but I'm not taking everything out of the packaging. This is from a French website. Now my French is absolute rubbish, so I'm not going to do any sort of accent. So this is In All Seasons by Tawny Cotton. I think this is beautiful. I saw this on Pinterest and I went on the hunt for it. I'm doing it on summer khaki, 36 count, and all the called for threads. This is Beehive Sampler by Lila Studio. I haven't, I know what fabric I'm going to do it on, but I need to dye it, and there's only three threads in there, which I quite like. I got all these from eBay, and it's the Snow Place Like Home series from Country Cottage Needleworks. I've got all the called for threads, and I just need to cut my fabric out. I'll show you this as well. This is Lila's Studio Flower Patch 2. This is the Scarlet House 7 Sheep Sampler. I love this one. This is one of my favourite ones. I'm using all the called for threads, and I've already hand dyed a piece of fabric for this. This is that 40 count Verdal, still don't know how to say it. I really quite like the way it does take the dye. It's very subtle mottling, but I really like it, and I love to stitch on it. It's really nice, and it's quite cheap. This is the Victorian Band Sampler by the Victoria Sampler. Yeah, this is one of the Princess patterns from Brooks Books. Cayuga, I think, or Cayuga. I'm not quite sure how you say that. The Queen Sampler, Elizabeth I. Jay very kindly sent me this after she'd finished stitching on it. I'm not going for the called for threads. I'm just, when you pull the threads that I'm doing the DMC version, but the threads that they suggest aren't as bright as what the picture suggests that they'll be, so I just picked ones that I thought matched the picture, and I want to do that on 28 count Cassia Rose, I think. Yeah, Cassia Rose by Chromatic Alchemy. This is one of her seconds, because it has a tiny little dot on one part of it, but that just doesn't bother me, so that's why I'm doing that one. This is Barbara Design Snooty Parrots. I love this, and again I have dyed my own fabric and using the called for threads. This is the fabric that I've dyed. These are all the threads. In my first video I said I wasn't a religious person, so this one is absolutely ridiculous. This is Le Marquois de Justine, which is, if anyone's Catholic, is about a confirmation, I think. Is it a confirmation? It's a very Catholic design, but I absolutely loved it when I saw it, and apparently it's quite hard to get hold of, but I just did a Google search and found a French website, didn't have any trouble, and ordered it, and they sent it to me, no bother at all. I think it's beautiful. I'm not doing the call for threads for that one. I've just got a random selection of DMC that I quite like, and I'm just going to wing it from there. I think a lot of people have seen this one, this Northern Expressions Needleworks Twisted Band Sampler. I've made some changes as well to the colours, because I didn't really like the browny gold here, so I've gone for more of a rainbow colour theme, and I'm going to be doing this on 32 count Star Sapphire by Permin. This is Halloween Delivery by Plum Street Samplers. I've got some tea and coffee dyed fabric there that I'm going to be doing it on, and I'm doing it in the DMC. This is another chart that Jay sent me. This is by Sub Rosa. What's it called? Sleeping Like the Dead. I've got some coffee dyed fabric and some random threads in there that I chose because I wasn't going to do it in the called for. Another one that Jay sent me, and this is Lizzie Borden by The Primitive Hair, and there's my fabric and threads. This is The Six Wives of Henry VIII by The Primitive Hair, and this is Eco Dye Onion Skins by Chromatic Alchemy that I want to do on, and they're all the called for threads. This is Christmas Joy by Barbara Designs. This fabric and the called for threads. I quite like that one. This is Dance of the Bees by Ship's Manor, the fabric and the threads. This is Let It Snow by Barbara Designs, fabric and the threads. This is Allium by Elizabeth Almond from Blackwork Journey. I really love this, I thought it was really pretty. I'm going to be doing this on some sparkly fabric, which is Sunlit Forest. Everyone's seen this. I've just got the whole pack of Save the Stitches out. And I actually use Madeira metallic threads instead of DMC or Petite Treasure braid. This stuff's really cheap and I quite like using it. So everything's in there. This is Spot the Cat by La Di Da. I got this when I was on holiday in July, and I drove to the Patchwork Rabbit to have a look, and I ended up picking up that and a few other charts. I think it's really funny. She had this stitched up in the shop in a frame, and it's only small, but I think it's quite fun. This is Ink Circles Spring Snow. I think this is really pretty. Why is it when I lean, I need to lean? Nobody wants me that close. I'm doing this on the Call For fabric, which is Weeks Dye Works Dove. I've never used Weeks Dye Works before, and I know a lot of people don't like it. They think it's too floppy or the weave is a bit too open. I've never used it before, so I'm going to give it a go, and then I'll let you know what I think. This is another one from Jay, bless her. This is Jack's Bash by Plum Street Samplers, and I'm going to be doing this on Picture This Plus Doubloon. I bought a piece of this fabric from the Patchwork Rabbit when I went. This is another bee one. This is Dame Crotal and the Bees. This is by Good Flora Stitchwort. She's an Etsy shop. And I love this. I think it's really funny. I think it's really fun. And I'm going to be doing this, excuse the wrinkles, but I'm going to be doing this on some hand-dyed fabric. Again, it's a bit more, not as pale as it's shown on camera. Needs a good iron. And this one I bought on eBay. It was a job lot of Christmas designs, and this is Snow Day by Lizzie Kate, and this is part of one that makes up a bigger series, so this is the one that I've got. This is Anne Forfeit 1812 by Hands Across the Sea Samplers. This is absolutely massive. It's 519 by 570 stitches, but I love it, and it's apparently their largest one that they do. If anyone has never looked at a Hands Across the Sea chart, they are just beautifully done. They really are. I'm doing this on 40 count. Again, some linen that I've dyed myself, and it is absolutely massive. That's how big the fabric is, and I'm 6 foot tall, so you can see I'm nearly as tall as my wardrobes, and it's absolutely massive. I just wanted to show you how bright white the verdal is, and how well the dye takes. I had this pegged out on the line, and somebody was like, "Oh, your washing isn't very clean." It's supposed to be like that, love. The next one is the Joyful World Sal. The months, I've got them all just printed out, and all the threads ready to go. I mean, I completely missed this one when I got back into stitching this year. I discovered it quite late, so I'd like to start this in January next year, and I'll be doing this on 32 count vintage country mocha. This is another one that I picked up from the Patchwork Rabbit when I went. This is Peace on Earth by Cathy, Barek. And this was some fabric that I bought from her at the same time, and you can't even see how lovely this is. It's Parchment by Sparklies, but it's actually got some green. You can't even see that at all. You've got some green in it and it's really lovely. There's 40 count. And there's all the threads. So I'm doing a DMC version. This is another one that I bought, Dearie and Darling by Cathy, Barek. I'm doing it on Vintage Country Mocha and the DMC. I love this one. I think it's really cute. I don't know whether I should show you this one. I don't think my friend will watch, but this is my friend's having a baby in February. I don't think I'll get this done by then, but I wanted to do a baby sampler. Something a bit different but modern at the same time. There's all the called for threads. This is another one from Jay, and this is The Curse of the Raven by Carriage House Samplings. And there's all the threads. And this one is another Carriage House Samplings, Christmas Joyride. I got this one from eBay as well in the job lot of Christmas charts. I'm doing it on blue, 28 count. That was from a kit that I had years ago. This is another one from Good Flora Stitchwort, and it's Winter Hare in the Rose Hips. I love that. I hand dyed some fabric. That's that really stiff linen. I used the pearl grey rip dye. You can't really see, but I quite like the way that's turned out. I forgot to show this in my very first video. This is the Glitter Girls by County Needlecraft. I bought this about 15 years ago from the NEC at the stitching shows that they had there, or have. I'm going to the one in November. But you could buy this as individuals or half, 4 girls on one side, 4 girls on the other, or you could buy the whole kit, and I obviously bought the whole kit. This one is Jet, Amethyst, Rose, Sapphire, Turquoise, Amber and Emerald, and this is the one I've nearly stitched up, and that's how far I got. This is done on 18 count Eyre. Can you see how dirty it is? Oh, it's filthy. When I ordered the Frosty Forest from Patchwork Rabbit, I picked this one up to do in the meantime whilst waiting for my order to be delivered. And this is DMC rayon and DMC metallic threads. I'd never used either, and it's horrendous stuff. Sometimes they look a bit off, so if you see no, not to give her body issues, but look how chunky her arms are in comparison to her little tiny ankles. So I didn't really like the way it was charted, and like this arm has just no shape at all. And then this one, she looks like she's been wrestling. So I just tried to make them a little bit more slender, but I think this looks really awkward. Anyway, I stopped doing it when my Frosty Forest came. Yeah, I don't know. I do like them with some tweaks here and there, but I don't know whether I want to do them on the Eyre or stitch them in rayon or stitch them in the DMC metallics. I showed this in my last video, Mystic 8 by Courtney Collection. I want to do this on the Cassia Rose by Chromatic Alchemy, and I've just picked a random ready pink reddy pinky thread that I quite liked. That's the first box empty. So I got this on eBay as part of a job lot. This is Little House Needleworks, the bookshelf. I was really pleased that I got this after I saw the Striped Rose had done it, and I loved it. I've shown this one before. It's Bare Tree Forest. I've got a few of the threads and the fabric. This is Little House Needleworks Lantern Lane. I've got one thread and the fabric. I bought this after I watched Goldie Fishy on Flosstube doing it, and I wanted to do all of the threads that she had done it in because I loved the way it looked. So I've only got one so far. I'm sorry if you can hear digging. There's some roadworks going on just outside. It's a bit annoying. This is the Language of Flowers by Rosewood Manor. I've got some of the threads and the fabric. This is a Chatelaine. This is called Spring Roses. This used to be a freebie chart that you could download, but it's not anymore, but you can go on their website and buy it. I've got some of the threads, and I just need to sort out fabric. This is another freebie from Northern Expression Needleworks called Little Heart Swirl. I'm going to use the excess of my Acorn Hill thread called Cupid. I think it lends itself quite well to that, and it's only small. I got this from the Faubles sale. It cost me £2, and it's Red Winged Blackbirds by Carriage House Samplings, and I've just got some of the threads. I showed this last time. This is Barbara Designs Sadie Wood Sampler. I've got almost all of the threads, and I just need to sort my fabric out. This is another Rosewood Manor. This is Bucklebury Sampler. I think this is lovely. I've got some of the threads and the fabric. I've shown this before. I got this last video. It's Dragonfly 3 by Little Leaf Designs, and I put in the DMC now, so that's actually ready to go. This is Ship's Manor Earth and Air. I love this, but I absolutely hate the colour of the fabric that they've used. It's Tobacco by Zweigart. I think it's horrible. Or the photo, I've not actually seen it in real life, to be fair, but I don't think the photo does it any justice. I'm going to be doing the DMC version. I've just got some of the threads, but I need to decide what fabric I want to do it on. And this again is another Ship's Manor, The Beautiful Sea. I'm not a fan of this green at all, but I love the designs. I have picked some fabric, but I'm not sure if that's the one I want to use, and I've got some of the threads, and again I'll be doing that in the DMC. This is another freebie, and it's a Quaker in 6 parts. It doesn't come with a front cover, but again I found a picture online and did a title, but I found some red that I quite liked. I just need to pick some fabric. This is another one I bought from the Patchwork Rabbit when I went, and this is Toil and Trouble by Plum Street Samplers. I haven't got any of the threads, it's quite a few, but I have got the fabric, which is Parchment by Sparklies, and again you can't really see it, but it's lovely. That's 40 count. I bought a bigger piece, and I've been able to kit up 2 projects, and I think I've got another piece left over. This again, you've seen, I showed this last time. This is Let Freedom Ring by Lila's Studio, and I've got some of the threads. Just need to get the rest. I think this one is one of my favourites. It's called With Needle and Thread by Samplers Not Forgotten. I think this is really beautiful. and I really can't wait to start this one. I've got some of the threads, I just need to get another 3, and I'm going to do it on this blue fabric, which is a Chromatic Alchemy seconds, and it's called Peony, and it's 32 count Murano. The piece was big enough to be able to do this one, and then I've got some left over. Again, I showed this last time. This is Barbara's design, my favourite apron. I've got some of the threads, and I've ordered all of the rest, and they've actually been dispatched today, so I just need to sort out the fabric. Now, I wasn't sure if one of my new Picture This Plus pieces would work on this. This is a very neutral fabric, but the one I'm thinking of, I'm not sure if it'll be a bit much, but I'll have a look when it comes, when all the threads come, and see what I think. This one is a Lizzie Kate inspiration boxer, where you got the chart, the fabric, and buttons for this, and I did this one, and then you get this one for free. I've done this one, I can show you that. This is it. It was all done in Weeks Dye Works, and there's the little button. I really like this. I quite like the words. I'm not really one for words, but this one just really spoke to me. I love that. So I've got threads, some of the threads for, I've taken 2 threads out to do another project, and I've got some of the threads to do the alphabet, which I do quite like. This is called Birds by Hickety Pickety on Etsy. This is the only picture you get. I don't think she usually does cross stitch designs. I think she does a lot of the punch needle or something, but I quite liked how quirky that looks. I've not got any of the threads, but I've got this green that I thought it might look quite nice on. This one I showed last time, Autumn on Lazybones Mountain. I've got some of the threads, and I want to dye some fabric to do that one. This one is One Stagger Leaping by Carriage House Samplings. I love this. You can either do it on the black or the white, which I've not tried stitching on dark fabric yet. I do love the look of that. I've got all of the threads except one, which is it's Needle Necessities, but I think they're now Threadworks, but the colour that they say doesn't exist anymore, so I need to look for an alternative, or they have done an alternative but it's not called the same or something like that. I'm not quite sure, but I love that one. This I got from the Patchwork Rabbit again when I went. This I showed last time as well as Westminster Designs, the Beehive Sampler. This has got loads of colours, and I still need to get some more and sort out some fabric. I'm really quite excited about that one. Again, sorry, I know I've shown these already, but this was the Jennifer Gilbert 1818 sampler that I showed you in my last video. I've got 3 threads, and then I just need to sort out my fabric as well. And then again, sorry, this is the Stitcher Hood Enchanted, which I showed last time, but I've chosen to do this on the Flotsam and Jetsam fabric from Chromatic Alchemy. I bought it was this wide but 27 inches long, but I absolutely love this, and this is the darkest fabric I've got. I just need to get the threads for that, but I thought it would look quite nice on that, because it's got you can't really see, it's like greeny yellow in there, and I thought that would blend quite well with the colours used in the chart. This one is another by Good Flora Stitchwort, and it's Good Day Sire Christmas. I love this. Santa's got his washing hanging out. I thought that was really fun, and it's got a bit of Quaker things going on up the top. I've got the threads and the fabric, but I think I'd quite like to age the fabric slightly. This one, Starry Night Sampler by the City Stitcher. This one, Starry Night, I love this, I think it's really beautiful, but I didn't know whether to do this on a darker fabric because of it being a starry night. I did pick one, but I think it was a bit silly. It was called Gothic by Sparklies. I think it's just a bit much. I did cut it and everything, but I think it's not the right one for it. But I would like to do it on something a bit darker. And I love this one as well. This is the Cricket Collection, The Master and the Macabre. What's his name? Edgar Allan Poe. I love this, but I picked a fabric that was completely different to this one. Now I think it would work, but again, I feel as if I'm not quite confident enough yet. But it's called Dark Goddess by Sparklies. Now I did put all the colours on there, I'm just missing a few. The only thing I think I would need to change is the colour. Should I take it out? Is the colour of the wings of the bird. But I think everything else would work quite well, but I'm not sure. I'm not 100% yet. And this is by Reflex de Soir, and it's Anne Mitchell 1810. I think it is a really bright sampler for the time. I don't know if it's a reproduction or not, I'm not sure, but I think it's really pretty. I've got some of the threads, and I just need to buy the fabric. Not buy the fabric because I've got loads of fabric, choose the fabric. This is the Scarlet House, Mary Betchell 1810, and I bought this and then I saw that Nicole's needlework had done it, so I thought, oh, I've got good taste, because hers looks absolutely beautiful, so I really want to do this one. It's only a few thread colours actually. I was going to do it in the DMC, but I think I'd be doing it a disservice if I do that, and I think I'll choose the hand dyes for that one. This is the Rarest Bird by Blackbird Designs, and this is part of the Garden Club series. I only bought this one, I loved it, and I actually stitched it up for my friend for a birthday. I did it in DMC. I love the colours of this, but I was on she's really hard to buy for, and I was on a tight time frame and I didn't have a chance to go anywhere to go and get some hand dye threads, so I just did it in DMC, and it actually looks really nice. I use this as my intro picture for my videos. I'll insert a picture here so you can look at it properly, but I was really pleased with how it turned out, but I'm not ready to get past this chart on yet because I'd like to do one for myself. And these ones are ones I bought in the Faubourg sale again, and I just had them just to have them because they were so cheap, and this was like £1, and it's Dear Friend by Blackbird Designs, and not necessarily to do the Dear Friend, but the design I thought were really pretty. So this is another one, Raise a Glass of Cheer by Blackbird Designs, and I just really liked these. Not the words, but I love the flowers. This one I showed last time, sorry. This is New England Winter Sampler, Little House Needleworks. And I bought these from the French website when I bought In All Seasons. They were all in the sale, so I had them. It's by Tralala, La Maison Bleue, or the Blue House. And this one is sampler number 1 by Chalala again. I love this. I don't think I'd do the girl or the heart, but I really liked it. Everything else. These again were in the Foibles sale. So this is Quaker Birds. I did almost pick this one to do for the November stitch along that Vonna posted about, but I wanted to do some colour. And then this one as well, Be Merry. Again, I nearly picked this one, but I wanted to do something that didn't have as much white in it. And another one, this is, what's this called? Liberty Bells. Again, £1. Oh, so I couldn't not have them. See, I did buy this, The Plague Doctor, on Etsy by Busby Designs, but I'm not sure if I like it actually, so I'll keep it in my stash. Theron Traditions, this is New England Schoolgirl Sampler. I really like this, but I didn't realise how how heavily stitched this is, so I don't know if this is one that I would ever do. The other one I've got is this Joyce Reid Folk Art Santa's Sleigh. This was like £3 on Etsy. She does some quite cheap patterns actually. I've got these as well. These are from the Stitching Parlour. This is the Daughters of Longbourn. I spoke about these, or no, I didn't speak about them. I mentioned them in my very first video when I showed Persuasion. And they'd done a series of 5 charts to do with Pride and Prejudice, and I absolutely love Pride and Prejudice. And somebody had done a design where they put all elements of all of these charts onto one great big it was willow tree, willow hill something. I'll put a link below. But yeah, I've got the Daughters of Longbourn, Mr and Mrs Darcy of Pemberley, and then I've got A Ball at Netherfield, and Mr Collins' Humble Abode. And the only other one I need to get is Rosings. I would like them all. Whether or not I'll stitch them all, I don't know. I have toyed with the idea of putting them all on one. That'll be absolutely ginormous, but yeah, I have made some notes to see if it'll work. But it's a long way off yet. The last one I've got is Mirabilia Snow Queen. I actually bought this in October last year. My friend and I had gone to Shrewsbury for the day with another friend, and she was talking about cross stitch and embroidery and how interested she was in it, and it just got me to thinking about all the ones I'd got and not touched for yonks. So I was telling my friend at work, and before you knew it, we were looking on the Mirabilia website, and there was all these new designs that I hadn't seen, and I saw her and I was like, oh, I've got to have her. And my friend also ordered Christmas in London. So yeah, I ordered the chart, and it came, and I was ordering all my DMC, and then I noticed that Karen Water Lilies, what's Karen Water Lilies? I did not have a clue. That was the first time I'd ever heard of a different brand other than DMC or Anchor Thread, and I just didn't have a clue. Saw that it was silk, checked online, you needed 2 skeins, it needed 2 colours and 2 skeins of each colour. And they were like £5 or £6 a skein, and I was just absolutely no way. And I joined a group on Facebook, and somebody had finished theirs, and she'd put a picture up of how many skeins of what she'd got left of the Karen Water Lilies, and it was a full skein and then some from the first skein that she'd used. she'd wrote to Mirabilia, and Mirabilia wrote back to say, oh yeah, there is a mistake on the chart, you only need one of each skein. So if you are going to order this, I would suggest only ordering one of each. I mean, if you could join the Facebook group, it's the Snow Queen, and it's just dedicated to that, but it does say that you need two of each, and at £22 it's not cheap. And then if you're not going to be able to use it in another design, it's money wasted really. And another thing on this chart, I don't know if it's still incorrect, but you know the way they are printed, and then you get the line to show where it should be, and you flip it over what to match it up with. That isn't a duplicated line on each one. It is on their website as an amendment, but just in case you don't know to look at the amendments, it's not a guide, that line. You need to stitch the two greyed out lines, if that makes any sense. So what I did was, because I found it really hard to, I'll show you in a minute what happened with mine, but I did a photocopy and stuck the two together. I don't like the way Mirabilia's do their chart. I prefer a separate piece of paper for each one, and you can match it up yourself. Because I'd never worked with Karen water lilies before, I wanted to start with them. I was very excited, and this was before I'd even worked on linen or anything like that. So I bought Eyre. I counted where I needed to start with the Karen water lilies, and it was part on the one half and then part on the other half, so that's why I got all confused and figured out that it was a line. But yeah, so I started with the Karen on the Eyre, and I stupidly left it out, and the cat got hold of it, and I'll insert a picture as to what happened on it here. Yeah, so I wasn't pleased at all. So I did try to sew a piece of Eyre behind the back and stitch over it, but it looked just awful. It looked a mess. So I just put it away and you know, left it for a while. In the meantime, Frosty Forest by Country Cottage Needleworks was delivered, and that was Eyre. That was linen, and the first time I'd used linen, I loved it. So then I ordered a new piece of fabric for the Snow Queen, and ordered the called for linen, and I think it was like smoky grey or pearl grey. What's it called? Twilight blue, and it was, yeah, and it's sort of a blah colour blue, but I was happy, and I was going to do it on linen. And then I started stitching even more, and then I got to learn about hand-dyed fabrics, and then I kept looking at the fabric for Snow Queen, and it was like, it's really boring. So the other day I had to go at dyeing it with some Dylon hand dye that you do in the sink, and I quite like how this has turned out. I don't know if it's a bit too mottled, and I might want to submerge it again in the blue. But I love the dark, and I think the colours will really, you can't even see anything. I think the colours will really pop on there, as opposed to just the flat colours. But yeah, I was getting brave with my my colour choices for dyeing. It's probably really standard for some people, but ooh. So even though I've got all of those patterns, there are a few I would absolutely love, and the one that I think I'd like most of all is by Blackbird, called the Beehive Sampler. I can't get it from from the UK. I think you could buy it as a kit years ago, but I've never seen it. You can buy the chart, but I can only see that I can get it from the US, and it's about $20, but then you add on shipping and it ends up being about $30, and I would need to do a larger order to justify that. So hopefully one day I'll be able to get it. I do search on eBay, but I've not had any luck being able to get that one yet, but I just love it. I'll insert a picture with what it looks like. So you know what I'm waffling on about. I really love it. I think it's beautiful. But that is, I think, it. My box of Stitchy Shame. I did say at the start when I started to buy more and more charts that I haven't got as much as some, but I think that excuse is wearing a little bit thin now, and I do feel that it's excessive, but it's fine. It's fine. Next year I would actually like to do Stitch from Stash. I don't know, I need to definitely curb the amount I'm buying, because I don't know whether I'll ever be able to do all of this stuff in my lifetime, hopefully, but you just don't know, do you? I would just like to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed to my my channel. I think as of today I've got 544 subscribers, and I can't believe that many people want to listen to me. I'm just rambling now as usual, so I think I'll go. Thank you everybody for watching if you have stayed with me this long, and thank you for all your comments, and I do read them all and I try to like them all. I don't get a chance to respond to them all, but I do like and love them all, and I really appreciate you taking the time to do that. Anyway, I'll see you next time. Bye.